Pennsylvania embraces the dawn of a new day. But as each hour passes, the sky will turn gray as one of our own faces a frightening diagnosis. These are the faces of breast cancer. Women, and yes, men, just like you, your mother, sister, daughter. By the year's end, some 9,500 Pennsylvanians will battle this dreaded disease. More than 2,000 will not survive.
When you're diagnosed, you're terrified.
I felt like the whole entire world was coming down.
We all cried.
It's a horrible disease.
Listen closely. Hear their voices. They are asking for your help.
Helping others, and that is the message, I think, for all breast cancer.
Since 1993, the Pennsylvania Breast Cancer Coalition has been a lifeline for breast cancer survivors and their families.
I decided to go for chemo at the hospital of the University of Penn, which is about 70 miles from my house. That's the help I most needed. And that's where the Pennsylvania Breast Coalition came in. They contacted my friends, family, colleagues to make sure that I had a ride.
I feel so strongly that it's not just me personally that's the breast cancer survivor. It's everybody in my family. The Pennsylvania Breast Cancer Coalition, I feel, has been a partner in my treatment for breast cancer and in my recovery and in my acceptance of the diagnosis.
The Pennsylvania Breast Cancer Coalition is their voice in Pennsylvania.
Rise up and say, this is what women and their families need.
You're not alone. You feel alone, but after you call them, you're not alone anymore.
Not for, oh, I see.
You know, it wouldn't be fair to bring a puppy in.
I see.
1 in 7 women will be diagnosed in their lifetime with breast cancer. But caught early, the 5-year survival rate is 98%. That's why we're at the forefront of spreading the word about early detection, the importance of annual mammograms for women over age 40.
They've come so far with technology now, till it's important that we get those mammograms, take those breast exams. And if we are diagnosed, there is hope. There is life after breast cancer.
Despite being the most common cancer in women, a diagnosis can shatter your world. But we are there, extending a hand to hold, a shoulder to cry on, providing answers in our free Friends Like Me gift of vital information and hope from a network of survivors.
One day I was really just depressed, and in the mail I received this beautiful pink box, and I opened it up and it was from the Breast Cancer Coalition, full of pamphlets, information, little gifts of comfort. I mean, it just turned me around.
We know, because we've been there, you are not alone.
They have been a constant source of reliable information that you needed and that you can trust.
Each year, we take the stage at our annual conference, bringing together the best and brightest researchers, medical professionals, educators, and advocates.
The perfect place to come and be able to talk to people, ask them questions, and feel like you can get help, which, you know, years ago you really felt like there was nowhere to go for help. Now you do have a place.
And our photo exhibit, 67 women, 67 counties facing breast cancer in Pennsylvania, travels the state, touching millions in 100 communities, both large and small.
Wow, it's amazing.
And every time I see it, every year that I come and I see it, I get teary-eyed. But also I rejoice to see all the survivors.
This educational tribute and work of art celebrates the life, courage, hope, and dignity of breast cancer survivors.
I've advocated, I've lobbied, I've spoken, I've publicized.
Our voice rings loud and clear throughout the Commonwealth's legislative, medical, insurance, and corporate communities. We vigorously advocate for research, education, and outreach dollars.
With a very small staff, I believe there's 7 now, they do the work of probably well over 100 and have been responsible for getting legislation passed that's made such a difference for women.
Free mammograms, insurance coverage for reconstructive surgery, and treatment for those without adequate medical insurance.
For any woman who's uninsured or underinsured, free treatment for the diagnosis, for the surgery, for radiation, for chemotherapy if it's needed, and for the drugs that you may be taking during that period of time.
Women can now devote their full energy to the battle against this devastating disease. Our adept patient advocate stands ready to help navigate the maze of insurance, employment, and other issues.
Research will be our best weapon in the war against breast cancer.
In 1997, it was the Pennsylvania Breast Cancer Coalition that successfully lobbied for income tax checkoff legislation. So far, the program has raised several $million and awarded dozens of grants for breast and cervical cancer research.
Clinical trials are what we need to do to help my niece, your daughters, your sisters, our mothers, our friends.
All donations are awarded to Pennsylvania-based researchers. They join our Potamkin grantees in working towards our brightest hope, our ultimate goal, to find a cure.
This progress that we're making is really very much thanks to all of you. It's thanks to the advocates around the country. And I just can't say it enough, and we can't let up now.
They do a tremendous job, honest to goodness. I don't know where we would be without it.
A non-profit independent organization, the Pennsylvania Breast Cancer Coalition is much more than just a caring neighbor. It is a worthy steward of your desperately needed support.
Almost every penny that you give us goes directly to services and programs for the women and families in Pennsylvania. This is what we do because they need that help. But you know, our ultimate goal, the mission of the Pennsylvania Breast Cancer Coalition, is to find a cure for breast cancer now so that our daughters and my granddaughters don't have to.
On Tuesday, October the 24th,
across the Commonwealth, hundreds of dedicated grassroots partners volunteer their time, advocating, holding events, and fundraising for the coalition.
The objective for this home run derby campaign is to raise money to emphasize the spirit of competition, to challenge one another to try and raise enough money. Our goal is to raise $1 million.
Friends like these, our valued corporate foundation and private sponsors are swinging hard against breast cancer, determined to help us knock it out of the park.
I would say that if the coalition was a person, I'd be in love. If the PA Coalition was a person, I'd be in love. Love for me is a verb. It's about what people do for you and being there for you. It's not just this nice fluffy emotion, and I'm in love with the coalition.
I look at my daughter, who is now approaching those teen years. I feel like it is my job as her parent, as a breast cancer survivor, as a woman, to do the best that I can so that she won't have to endure the types of heartbreaking and gut-wrenching decisions that I and so many other women have had to face.
I'm a breast cancer survivor.
I am a breast cancer survivor.
A survivor. 2 years and 9 months. 4 years.
I'm a survivor twice.
5 years.
5 years today.
11 years.
12 years.
13 años sobreviviendo.
29 years later, here I am, a survivor.
Every long journey is made of small steps.
The hope of a brighter tomorrow will dawn for the Commonwealth's 103,000 breast cancer survivors, but only with your help and support. Help us paint Pennsylvania pink and find a cure for breast cancer now, so our daughters won't have to.
Taking our love, taking our love, taking our love there with you.
The Pennsylvania Breast Cancer Coalition is a 501c3 organization.